not Santa Fe. You know, it's spelled the same way. It's Santa Fe, Tennessee. Anyway, it's good to be here. And my brief talk this morning is entitled Identity Theft. What's the big deal? You know, for the past several years, identity theft has been a big buzzword, and I'm sure you've all heard of it. And it's been a big thing. It's been made into a big thing, but really, and I want to ask you all just for a few quick answers. Identity theft. What's the big deal? Any comments on that?
Financial, possible financial ruin.
Okay. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
Pardon?
Frozen funds.
Frozen funds. Okay. Very good. Well, it is a big deal. Let me go over just a few quick points. I can read. Put my glasses on here. For one thing, identity theft has been the #1 complaint to the Federal Trade Commission for 16 years in a row. That's a big deal. The Secret Service says that more money can be made, and it is made, through identity theft than drug trafficking worldwide. That's a big deal. Most identity thieves are never caught or convicted, so they can continue doing the crimes over and over. That's a big deal. Identity theft is basically the only crime where really you are considered guilty until you can prove yourself innocent. And that's a big deal. See what I missed here. It's become the fastest growing crime in the country. That's a big deal. So it is a big deal, and it's not a victimless crime. How would you define identity theft? If you had to define identity theft, what would you say, just in a few words?
Someone finds out all your personal information, and they can then in turn use that to buy things, get credit.
Exactly.
I don't think they need all of your information. They just need one piece of your
That's
information.
about it.
Enough of your information.
Enough, yeah.
And it doesn't have to be from one person. They can get different information from different people and basically create a new person. But it's basically the illegal use of someone's personal information for financial gain or some other gain. You might hear someone say, when someone reaches identity theft, someone might say, well, they can have my identity. You know, I don't have enough money to worry about. Well, what's wrong with that statement? What are they missing out on?
You don't have to have money.
That's right. It's not so much them getting the money that you have, although that's part of it. It's what they can do with that information and the accounts they can open and different things they can do. Also, one thing that we do at Harvard Risk Management is we do a lot of educating people about identity theft, about the different types of identity theft. We do a lot of webinars and seminars, complimentary. And what do most people think of when they think of identity theft? What first comes to mind usually? Credit cards and financial. That's only about maybe like 15 to 20% of identity theft is actually concerned with credit cards and financial. What's another type of identity theft you think of?
Voting.
Pardon?
Voting.
Voting, okay. Now, what did you think of that?
Everything going on recently?
Yeah. Voter fraud. I'm sure there's identity theft involved in that, and that's a big deal. Absolutely. Another type of identity theft.
Opening up lines of credit under your name.
Exactly. They can take your information and, like you said, open up a whole new accounts and
Or buy a car.
buy a car.
I
Absolutely.
used to work for a car dealership when I had one.
Okay. So you've seen this.
I've
All
seen
right.
this.
All right. So how many of you have either been a victim of identity theft or know someone who's been a victim of identity theft? Very good. That you know of. You know, most of us, our information is out there. You know, somebody probably has our information, or multiple people or groups. Just a matter of whether or not they've used it yet. Another type of identity theft is criminal identity theft, where someone uses your identity to commit a crime. There's a young mother in California who was arrested or detained over 7 times by the police for a crime that she didn't commit. And one time she was arrested and handcuffed right in front of her young children. That's a big deal. One of the most scariest is medical identity theft, where someone uses your information to either get insurance for medical treatments or things like that. And the problem with that is that their information goes on your medical record. And there have been cases where, extreme case where someone actually died because they were unconscious, went to the hospital and had to have a blood transfusion, and they were given the wrong type because someone else had used their medical information. So that is very dangerous for them. There is Social Security and job-related identity theft. There's a lady who went to apply for a job at a major store, and they came back and said, "We can't hire you." She said, "Why not?" I said, "Your Social Security number already works here." And got to checking, and there were over 200 illegal aliens that were using her Social Security number for jobs around the country. Can you imagine trying to clean that up? And of course, they weren't paying taxes. The IRS sent her a bill for I forget how many hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's another thing with identity theft. It's not so much usually the amount of money that you lose. That's usually covered some way or other. Big problem is the time it takes to clean up the records. And that has to be done usually during daytime hours with government agencies, things of that nature. What about if you're an employee and one of your employers is a victim of identity theft? Is that a big deal for you as an employer? Why? How would that affect you?
They have all your information.
Well, I hadn't thought of that. Good point. Good point, absolutely. But also, again, like I mentioned, victims say it's nerve-wracking. It's a very exasperating situation because not much you can do. And the phone calls they have to make have to be made during business hours because that's when the agencies are open. You may have heard the term absenteeism, where they're physically not present at work. There's also a term called presenteeism, where their body is there but their mind isn't. You know, they're somewhere else. What if you're an employee and you have more than one, you're an employer and have more than one employee who reports that they are a victim of identity theft? That could possibly be an indication that that data breach is coming from your company. So it could be an early warning signal there. But anyway, it's not a victimless crime. It is a big deal. Any questions for y'all right quick? I know my time's running out. Or any comments y'all might have about identity theft?
So what are some tips for people to take
That's
to be
what I'm
able
here
to?
for, isn't it, Laurie? I'm glad you asked that. I actually have a handout here that you can have with some tips on it. Basically, common sense tips like shred important documents. Don't carry your Social Security card around. Don't give out your information. Things of that nature. Another thing is, of course, to have some type of monitoring plan that monitors all your information, lets you know if there's anything questionable, to have a good restoration service that will restore your identity if you are a victim, which statistics show most of us will be at some time or other. So, but that's a good idea. As far as if you're an employee, then you'll keep track of your, in contact with your employees, and if they do have a problem, check and see if the problem is coming from your company, things of that nature. But I don't know the solution. I don't know if anyone knows the solution overall of identity theft. It's probably going to be around for a long time, growing in a lot of different ways. Another one I mentioned is child identity theft. Most people don't check their child's credit record. They shouldn't have a credit record, but people still childhood Social Security numbers. And a child become a teenager, apply to college for a job, and find out they're thousands of dollars in debt already. They steal dead people's identity and Social Security numbers. And so it's a big problem, and it's something that you need to be aware of and try to take steps to prevent. Anything else? Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank